get right to our program, so I'll make this short and sweet, but I did want to tell you a little bit about the Active Living Event Series. This is a quarterly program that we've had. This is our 4th year, and it's been a great success in educating not only elected officials, but just citizens out there, learning more about how they can improve their communities. So with the generous support of the Mary Black Foundation, we have worked with small towns across Spartanburg County to bring planning resources and to educate their communities about how to make active living and healthy policies integrated into their planning policies so that they can grow and thrive as vibrant communities. Without further ado, I want to introduce the Mayor of Pendleton, Frank Chrenshaw, and his town administrator, Steve Miller, who are going to share with us some of the things they've been doing in Pendleton to grow economic vibrancy there.
It's an honor to be here. Really appreciate Tim Top allowing us to come here and tell you a little bit about our town. Pendleton is 225 years old, as mentioned earlier. This year it's the oldest town in upstate. And it's evident if you look around at some of the other towns, because you'll see that a lot of the other larger towns have streets named after Pendleton. Greenville has a Pendleton Street, etc. We, even though we're 225 years old, we're definitely alive and growing and moving. Our slogan this year, as you saw up there, is 225 and alive. And that couldn't be any closer to the truth, because we are doing all kinds of great things in Pendleton. We think, of course, we're kind of prejudiced about that. We live there, and I've lived there all my life. A lot of people came there as fast as they could. It's a great place to live, in our opinion. We've been celebrating our year all year long. We kicked it off on New Year's Eve and had a great party on the square, and then we had our official birthday party on June the 6th. We've got a few pictures here. You can see one of them on there now. That's Carol Burdett in the lower left, serving cake, and with a nice hat on. She's got a great hat she's wearing there. And we've had events all year long, and they're still happening, which has done a lot for us as a town. We've gotten a lot of public relations mileage out of it. We've gotten our local newspapers to partner with us, and a lot of the success has been our partners. No doubt about it. We appreciate everybody that partnered with us, and we've got a lot of mileage out of that, and newspaper coverage, and we've had stories of individual folks in the communities that got in the newspaper and told their story, and it's been a great thing for us. And you just can't buy that kind of advertising, that kind of publicity. It's been an awesome thing. Carol's been great. She's our 225th anniversary chair this year, and has done a fantastic job along with our committee. And we couldn't be prouder of her and the committee and our citizens and everybody participated to help us, including our town council, who supported us. So it's been a great year for that. I won't go on with that point too long, but we are continuing to have events, and we're going to have a few more yet. So the year's not over, but we're definitely doing well with that. Pendleton is a small community, about 3,000 people. One of those places where everybody knows everybody. We're located in the upstate region, and like a lot of small communities in the South, Pendleton is challenged by both the changing economies and surrounding rapid growth. Addressing and participating in these changes are essential for our success. We can't just sit there and let the world go by us. So we're doing everything we can to deal with it in the proper way and in a constructive way. For more than a century, we had mills like a lot of towns did, textile mills. You see a picture of one there, which is an old cotton mill. That was an old mill called Shaney Brothers, which is, and we had a little mill hill like a lot of villages do, and an old mill called Pendleton Old Mill, and you see a picture of that site. But for years, they fueled our economy and centered the community. Since that time, a lot of those mills are gone. We still have Milliken that has a presence there, but a lot of those mills are gone, and the jobs are gone with them. So we're seeing a lot of rapid growth in the area, which is really being fueled now by neighboring universities and influx of retirees. There are multiple reasons, I guess, for these people coming in, including the mild climate, really nice landscape that we have there, and lakes, along with all the other amenities available through higher education and in close proximity to Anderson, Greenville, Atlanta, and Charlotte. We feel like we're in a good location where we're at, because we're kind of close to everything. You can get where you need to go pretty quickly. These changes, though, do have us struggling to maintain our identity as a quaint historic town with all that happening around us. So, you know, we want to keep that character while we do take advantage of growth and the challenges that growth places on the high level of service that we have to provide to our citizens, because of course they all want everything. So, you know, we got to figure out ways to fund that and come up with the money to do all of that. Very good. Pendleton, though, is blessed with a rich history, so just threw this in here to kind of give you a little bit of that too. The town of Pendleton was founded in 1790 to serve as a courthouse seat. The Farmers Hall, which is kind of the icon of Pendleton, when you come into town, you see the Farmers Hall. That was originally it's going to be the courthouse for the Pendleton district. And it never got to be that because the district was split into 3 other counties, Anderson, Oconee, and Pickens counties, before that really came to fruition. So later, the Farmers Society, which is the oldest farmers society in the United States, they took that building and completed it and made it their building. And that is a really historic place there. We had some really famous people that were members of the Farmers Society. Thomas Clemson was one, John C. Calhoun was one, Andrew Pickens, a lot of folks. And that's really where Clemson University was born, was in that building right there. So we're proud of our heritage with that for sure. In that time, the aristocratic low-country planters and politicians had discovered Pendleton and the summer homes. They came to Pendleton, I guess, to escape some of the heat in the low country, although sometimes I think after this summer it's pretty hot where we're at. But a lot of them came up there and built summer homes. And this history contributed to National Park Service listing the Pendleton Historic District in the National Register of Historic Places, of which the entire town of Pendleton is included. This architectural legacy is one of the attributes much valued by Pendleton community and has provided growth in tourism. Managing the much-needed growth of the area while preserving historic character here again is a top priority for us, and is, as I said, what we're trying to do. So now you know a little bit about our history. Let me tell you a little bit about our future. The fall of 2011, Pendleton partnered with Alignments. Clemson's created Inquiry Studio along with funds received from a grant obtained through the National Endowment of the Arts to hold a Your Town Community Development Charrette. And what we did is we invited as many community stakeholders as we could and other folks to come and participate in the charrette, where specific design issues were focused on. Areas of interest included gateways to the town, restoration of the historic town square, potential locations for commercial development and educational facilities that closely correlate with the community, and preservation, again, of the town's historic character. Building from the momentum of the Your Town charrette, the town also applied for an Our Town grant, again through the National Endowment of the Arts, and we were fortunate to get that, and all of this eventually resulted into our current downtown master plan, because we wanted to have a direction to go before we started doing anything. So we accomplished this by, again, partnering and involving with everybody and getting everybody to share their thoughts and their opinions with us, and I can tell you folks, that's definitely the best way to go. It sure beats them being mad at you later. So that's the way we approach that. It's worked very well for us. Okay. Our downtown square, really for us, I guess, as I say, the Farmers Hall is kind of an icon, but all that really provides a focal point for civic life, for community identity, social activities, and economic endeavors. So when we have something happening, it's usually down there on the green. We have music on the green, which you see a picture of. We've got a nice restaurant there called 1826 Bistro, which is great food, and they have a beautiful patio out front. A lot of folks like to gather there in the evenings and have something to drink or eat. And that whole area up there just provides a great place for people to gather and have fun and have social activities and get involved in economic endeavors and other things. And like many of the most livable and loved small towns today, we're exploring ways to leverage this beauty and character for placemaking in hopes to create distinctive community where we overwhelmingly meet the needs of our residents, our employers, and our visitors. Going back to the master plan for just a minute, the downtown master plan, it articulates a vision for our future, as I say, derived from input from a lot of people. It sets forth implementation strategies to transform our downtown, and it offers diverse opportunities to reinvest in our cultural, economic, historic, and artistic fabric. In addition to its charm, Pendleton's many assets range from the town square itself to its many active downtown businesses. Again, Farmers Hall, which that's the 1826 building we're talking about, Hunter's Store, and at least 9 cultural facilities. But again, like many other small towns, Pendleton grapples with such issues as disinvestment, loss of connectivity, physical barriers, fragmented effort, and unfocused brand identity. However, there is also abundant unrealized potential on and near the town square. Pendleton residents' active participation in this and other local planning initiatives, ongoing building renovations, and popular annual community events on the town square, such as the Spring Jubilee and Fall Harvest Festival, are strong indications of broad community support. Because one thing you can say about Pendleton, we have a lot of support from the community. We have a lot of people that get involved. If you got a problem there, if you need help, if you need anything, you don't have to look far for somebody to help you. And it's a great feeling to live in a place like that, where you have a sense of community. And a lot of people try to build communities and make that happen, but it's a difficult thing to do. We have a lot of people, and they do a lot of our work for us. I mean, we have a recreational facility called Veterans Park. We have a beautiful playground there that was built by people in the community that went out there and just pitched in and raised money and built that. Of course, the town, we spend a lot of money on those facilities too, but one of the greatest things, again, is those people that live there with us. They're a great bunch of folks. The downtown master plan, one of the next steps we have in that is we're going to put in some more streetscapes, and we were fortunate recently to acquire a grant, a $500,000 community development block grant to begin phase 1 of our downtown master plan. So within just, I guess, about 3 or 4 months, yeah, we should be able to begin phase 1 of that, and that would include improvements along Mechanic Street from Queen Street to Main Street. Those improvements are going to include better pedestrian access with the use of sidewalks, pedestrian lighting, plantings, and parallel parking spaces. Years ago, when you came into the square of Pendleton from the south, the street actually came into the center of the square. And there aren't many towns I've seen like that. Abbeville is one of them. If anybody's here from Abbeville, it comes into the center of the square. But somewhere along the way, DOT decided if they moved that road over a little bit, that they could get a lot more traffic flowing through there. It worked really well. So now we have traffic flowing through there. A lot of times it's 70 miles an hour. We've got people trying to cross the street. So they're about moving traffic. We're about slowing traffic down. So what we're trying to do is make the downtown more pedestrian friendly. The other side of our square is pretty pedestrian friendly. There's not as much traffic. If you're walking around, it's easier. You know, we've tried to put in the crosswalks, you know, with pavers and all that. But this next step, I think, will really slow down traffic on that side. We're going to have crosswalks over there. We're going to have streetscapes, sidewalks, places people can sit, nicer lighting. That side of our square is somewhat disconnected from the other side. And I try to bring it back to be a little more like it was in prior years. So in order to continue growing and encourage orderly growth and development in appropriate areas, we must make efficient use of our public services. We are in the early stage of our Westinghouse sewer project. This project includes replacing the Westinghouse pump station with more efficient, larger pumps, replacing approximately 3,000 linear feet of gravity sewer line with larger gravity sewer line upstream of the pump station, and replacing and upsizing approximately 4,000 linear feet of force main from the Westinghouse pump station. A recent partnership with Anderson County allows Pendleton the ability to grow its sewer service area, which eventually grow the town limits for us. And that map you see there, the blue area reflects our current town limits. The pink area around it reflects our new sewer service area that we negotiated with Anderson County. This is going to be, I think, in years to come, a great thing for us because it will allow us to expand and hopefully have very good, good quality control growth in those areas and supply people with what they need, which is water and sewer. And I think it's going to be a good thing for the county too. It's a win-win for them. And one of the reasons is the county a few years back had installed a lot of infrastructure in the ground anticipating the arrival of industry. It just never came to fruition, didn't happen. And they have a lot of that sitting in the ground. They had money invested in. It wasn't doing anything. So this will allow us to use some of their infrastructure. We'll pay them a transportation fee, and that way they'll be getting money back out of their infrastructure. We have a waste treatment facility that we operate, and we're also giving them additional capacity in the waste treatment facility and making them an operation and maintenance partner in it. So it's a great thing, I think, for both sides, and it should allow us to expand eventually and hopefully broaden our tax base and create some more opportunities to bring in revenue and basically give people what they want, which is more services. In an effort to reinvent our online identity and sort of keeping with the times, let's say we're an old town, so we kind of struggle with that. We have recently updated our website. So we have a brand new website that's better utilizing Facebook and introduced our town on Twitter. You know, we might as well face it, it is the way of the future. I've tried as long as I could to stay off of Facebook, but I'm there now. And, you know, I find that citizens, they message me on Facebook anytime they got a problem. You know, I said, no, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, I'm doing that. And we might as well just wake up and get used to it. It's the way people communicate now, it's Facebook. So, you know, we've got a Facebook page, and we're able to get the word out about things faster on it seems, than any other way we do it most of the time. So we're trying to take advantage of the new technology like that, and Twitter and so on, because we've realized that having a dated social media appearance is going to drive away some potential businesses and tourists and residents alike. So communication with today's society is geared more toward online profiles. So even as a small town, we've got to be cognizant of that and make sure we do that. As a town, we realize to be a vibrant community, you cannot solely invest in one single aspect of the project. As such, we have strived to diversify our investments to not only provide a lively downtown, but also provide incentives for investment in other areas. In the past 3 years, these are just a few of the smaller projects that have been taking place that we have seen make a difference. As I say, we mentioned the streetscape improvements we did. We went out to Veterans Park. We had some fencing that was going bad on us out there, looked bad, but we were able to put in new fencing, and part of that was due again to people in the community that helped raise that money for us. Don't know what we'd do without them. We had, again, one of our partners, I keep saying it over and over again, but the school district, District 4, one of our partners, they have a large presence in the arts, and they came and put artwork on our old gymnasium that we call the Doghouse, and made it look great. And basically that didn't cost us anything. So here again, that's just another thing. Another thing we're doing this year is something that's kind of both old and new. Pendleton, a few years ago, decided to disband our police department and contract with Anderson County to provide our police services, which at the time I think really was the right thing to do and saved us a lot of money. But it's not working for us now. There's a lot of things that changed, and we decided to go back to having a police department. Being a small community, we feel like we need the community touch, community policing. The county's done a great job responding to our calls, but it's different people wasn't there every time. Not their fault, but folks want to feel like that the police know who they are and know who's supposed to be there and all that. So we feel like that's a service we need to provide. So we're back in that business, and actually we hired a chief of police yesterday, as a matter of fact. So we're starting our department. So we've got us a new police chief. His name is Doyle Burdett. When I heard his last name, I knew he had to be okay, because I figured, maybe he's related to Carol Burdett. So but he is a great guy. He carries a lot of experience. We think he's going to do a great job for us in Pendleton. We have continued our many partnerships with Anderson County to obtain funding also to remove some of the dilapidated houses which cause an eyesore to a lot of our citizens as they drive through our town. And much needed upgrades again to our park, Veterans Park. We managed to do all this while reducing our tax millage 2 consecutive years. And that, I think, has mostly been due to some of the growth we've experienced. We were able to expand our sewer system. We talked about that a minute ago. We actually expanded it out onto Highway 76. How many years ago was that? 2.5 years ago, yeah. 2.5 years ago. So we were able to attract some business after we did that. We brought in a huge business called Quick Trip. Many of you maybe bought gas from them, but it's been a great thing for us. And as soon as they came in, we had a new Bojangles come in, and it seems to be snowballing. So it's back to build the infrastructure, and sometimes they'll come. So that's working well for us too. So we've been able to cut the tax rate a little bit, and people are always happy to hear that. Okay. As we continue to move forward and grow, it's our primary mission as town leaders to promote patterns of development that will result in revitalization of our town and town center, preservation of historic, cultural, and natural resources to expand economic opportunity for all Pendletonians. One of the hardest facts to face as leaders is the acceptance that some of our undertakings will succeed while some of them will fail. But what our citizens will never be able to say is the effort to improve was not made. And the reason we're able to do a lot of things we're able to do these days is because our previous mayors, our previous councils, they've all shared those same values. They've all tried to move us forward, and they've all been successful at it overall for the most part. So one thing is we're just in a good position because of them, but we will always continue to try to be as good as we can be. Pendleton is trying to create a sense of place that will, in the end, will benefit many, not just a few. And to me, my friends, that's smart growth. If you can benefit everybody and not just a few, that's smart growth. That's my definition of it. I welcome y'all to come visit our wonderful community. We're still celebrating our birthday, as I mentioned earlier, and we'd love to have you come and have a good time with us and enjoy our town. Thank you.